Hello, world. Welcome back to another episode of After the Break. Joining us today is someone who truly represents heart with hustle. Sarette, better known as the queen of all trades, has experience in pageants, makeup, special effects, kids' parties, and now she's mastering process technology and taxes. After a bad tax experience, she made it her mission to create a safe, honest space for others. Let's welcome her to the show. Sarette Wilson, welcome to After the Break.
All right. How you doing today?
All is well. All is well. Thanks for being with us, man. Today it's going to be a great episode. Joyce kicked this whole thing off.
Yes, indeed.
Then Miko, and here you go, Sarita, man.
Right.
And I like that right there.
I didn't want to talk about the normal because I've been in school and I'm in school around people who already make 100,000 and they're in school to make more. So to give that information so they can hear it.
So today we're going to have a discussion about tax filing in different tax brackets, personal as well as business. So Sarette, can you give the people a brief introduction of who you are and what it is you do? I mean, we know you're a tax preparer, but in this particular area when it comes to higher earners.
Yes, of course. So, like you said, I am a tax representative and mostly my clients are high-end earners. So I like to promote and educate my clients about how to save money because once you start making more money, you want to spend more money. But the key is to save more money and it's all there.
When your income goes up, what do you recommend? What's the next move? What's the first move in regards to taxes?
So when it comes to taxes, you want to not so much think of yourself as a regular employee anymore. You kind of want to look at your money as a business now because now that we're in a higher tax bracket, more taxes come out. And at this point, we learn how to strategize and we learn things that are deductions, things I can do and put in this account that makes it look like this, and different sorts of things like that.
So when it comes to six-figure earners, right?
Mm-hmm.
A couple of different questions. Why do some still overpay? And is it actually about how much you make or is it about how much you keep in regards to filing returns?
When it comes to paying taxes as a six-figure tax earner, the key to it is organization because the IRS will reward you at the end when you have your things together. So when you make more money, you want to have receipts for more things, have an account for different things. You want to spread your money out in certain places so that it's more clear for you to be able to tell what's going on, what's coming in, what's going out, what's the waste. But I want to say that people are overpaid because they simply just don't prepare.
Mm. For myself personally, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got audited before. I got garnished before. I got my bank account. We want to say seized my account.
Yeah.
And so I had those things done because I didn't consider, moving a different way or structuring a different way or even filing a different way.
Right.
And so all of these things happen.
Right. And that's where we come in. We're tax professionals and people only look at us at the end of the year to do your taxes. But it's best to have a connection with me throughout the whole year because I'm the one who can say, hey, I'm pretty much a bookkeeper. Let's put these receipts right here for this transaction that happened because that is a write-off. It's a lot of things that are write-offs, especially as a six-figure earner that you could do as far as you have an extra room in your house that's an office if you happen to do anything in the business world, as well as your phone bill because you need your phone to be able to work and do your job. You need the Wi-Fi. These are bills, constant bills that you pay on the daily that you have receipts for that, hey, let's put it together and I got you.
When you earn a different amount of income, your lifestyle does change,
Mm-hmm.
and the opportunities that are presented are different. Like you actually have the funds to actually fund other projects, other
Exactly.
different businesses you may have. You may want to invest in other businesses. That's what I've done in the past. I invest in
Right.
other businesses, and
That's
so
smart.
yeah, and it's also a thing. You have the stock market option as well. There's
Right.
so many ways to do
All
it.
of that.
Um,
Hmm.
and I often wonder, which leads me to the next question: when should someone set up an LLC or an S corp uh, in regards to their everyday life? Or because someone may take what you just said and be like, "Oh, I got a house now, I'm a business." You
Right.
know, or
I'm
you
glad you
recommend?
asked me that. When you see that you have consistent money flowing in outside of what you already make outside of work, right? Like you put your investments into a project and now you're seeing return from it, but it has to be consistent. So maybe to when you're around $50,000 to $80,000, your business is really looking like a business. Now it's time to structure it and get that LLC because that stops it from you being liable personally if anything happens with your income.
Mm. And what write-offs do high earners miss? Because you mentioned some earlier, but what are some that they may potentially miss?
The ones that I mentioned earlier are big bonuses, but we also have
Mm.
to use our car. We use mileage. You need oil changes, all things of that. When you go out to eat, you have meetings. You need to be discussing what we're talking about when it comes to this business at this meeting, and therefore it's a write off.
You also mentioned investments. How do investments help you with your taxes?
So investing that that leaves you a paper trail.
Mm.
And that paper trail gives me easier access to know what's going along and how I can go about writing that off.
A lot of high earners, from what I've saw, they usually do like certain things towards the end of the year, like give donations to different causes and stuff. So is that like a year end of the year play? Because some people look at it like, oh, they finessing, you know, when they don't know. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
right. I was about to say, and actually, those type of things happen throughout the entire year. We just so happen to see it more often because of the holidays, because we have like
Mm.
those turkey giveaways, the
Yeah.
kids give giveaways. But trust me, especially in the high earners business, it happens every day, and that's what saves you your money. That's what brings you your money back.
So what's the difference between filing and tax planning? Or is it the same? What's the difference?
Filing is what I do. The planning
Okay.
is what my client does, right? So planning is pretty much I have a budget. This is what I make. This is my budget. Let's stay within it. And let's see what I've done like check in quarterly. Does this match up with what I should be doing, with what I made the goal to be, and things of that nature? So, yes.
You said earlier you don't have to wait till the jump of the year because a lot of people do wait till the start of the year to file taxes. I know you guys. I see businesses open all year round. H
Yes,
and R
indeed.
Block. Different ones. They there all year round. The
Yes.
brick and mortar's there. So why do you think most people file at tax season, or when they don't meet that April 15th deadline, they feel like they should wait till the following year to file because they get penalized for that, right?
Yes, they do. And I feel like people do that because they fear the IRS. Simply. That's it. When
Mm.
you don't have yourself planned throughout the whole year, it becomes chaos at the end of the year because it's like, okay, well, what did I do way in January? Well, way in December or the next January, and it's kind of too late if you haven't been keeping that on file. It's going to be hard to track down. So I think that's really the reason why people wait so long and they end up having back taxes and you end up owing because you have back taxes and things of that nature. And it's strictly off of fear.
Yeah, they're the only ones I'm scared of. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
But
They some real G's. They gonna
I'm
get you.
telling you, but
Oh man, they gonna get you.
it's crazy because everybody's afraid of the IRS, but the IRS will really reward you if you do everything right.
Yeah, because I mean, they may not call you and say, "Hey, can I get that out you?" You know, they
Right.
they'll send you a letter, but they are fair if you communicate and negotiate with them.
Yes, indeed.
You know, they are fair. I will admit that. So I want to encourage everyone to not be afraid of the IRS. You know, you have to conduct business. They're a part of our everyday life. It's a part of the
Right.
American construct. It's a part of our economic system, our financial system. It's a part of our lives. And so take advantage of some of these services all year round, you know, and
Yes,
if
we
you don't have
encourage.
a preparer, Sharetta can get with you. You should get with you.
Yes, I will.
And you're virtual too, right? So all 50 states,
Absolutely.
you're able
All
to.
50 states are welcome. And like I say, people will say, well, if you're in Louisiana, well, how can you do it from where? Trust me, the IRS knows exactly what I'm putting in and where it came from and where it's going. So I can do all 50 states.
When it comes to high earners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's some of the what's the biggest money habits that trap high earners where they when it comes to taxes, they kind of put them in the hot seat with the IRS.
What it really is living beyond your means.
Mm,
um like I say, when you first start making that money, the biggest thing you want to do is sit down, make goals, and plan, because that is the only way. Like, you'll be running straight forward and not even realizing, hey, I spent $500 over here, six over here, and now that money keeps adding up and adding up and adding up. So I think it's a more of not being structured.
keep in mind, audience, tax planning is on you. You know what I mean? It's your obligation to plan your own life. What's some lessons that everyone should learn early when it comes to that?
When it comes to that, you want to realize that, because a lot of people don't, we have a bad rep as a tax representative sometimes. People don't like to have someone in their business,
Right.
but it's best to have someone who has that knowledge to be right there beside you the step of the way. And I feel like that's where sometimes where we lack is the fear of having someone on our side, but we have to get out of that, because when you need somebody that knows more, it's just better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I know I need a mind. I mean, I file my own taxes. For other things, I do hire a CPA,
Hmm.
but I mean, yeah, it's best to not make those mistakes, because that's one of the things that Miko said. People make mistakes while filing, and when you really look at it, it's very
Yes.
minor mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Just really not knowing the paperwork, not knowing
Right.
document.
Right. And the
Yeah.
IRS catches everything.
Hmm. Now you give me flashbacks. Now I still owe them like 1,100. I still owe them like 1,100. I'm
Get
good. I'm
yourself on a
good.
payment plan and get it on off.
I owe them like 1,100. Man,
Yes.
I'm trying to tell you, they gonna get it. They know they gonna get it.
Yeah,
They
they
know they
gonna
gonna
get
get
it.
it.
You know
They
they
gonna
gonna
get it.
get
They
it.
gonna make sure they get it, boy, for
Yeah,
sure. They gonna
for
get
sure. And that's what we try to stop you guys from, is from that
it.
garnishment. Like, we try to let you do it on your time, okay?
Right. Now, the next level of this thing, right? Wealth
Mhm.
strategy. Because when it comes to planning with your plan, apparently there's a strategy that goes along with your planning.
Right.
So what's next level planning as far as structure when you actually reach a different tax bracket and become a high earner?
So I like to tell people, like, let's start looking into trust. Let's start looking into different banking accounts. Like, they have banking accounts that you can put in for, like, money to put aside for your health insurance. There's money that you could put aside for your housing insurance. Like, the strategy is to make it look like it's multiple entities. Also, even putting things together and making your family be a part of your payroll. We could do things like real estate and things of that nature, to where we help not only ourselves but our family members too.
And that's been a pretty popular conversation recently in the culture. Trust, uh, family payrolls, all of that, man. Also insurance policies. That's
Yes.
also been a part of the conversation. So yeah, so that planning and that along with that, that's dope. And that you definitely should have someone like yourself, a tax professional, all year round to
Mhm.
assist with
Right.
any of that documentation in the event that someone may have forgot to file, you may have forgotten something, you may get audited somewhere within a year. So that's beautiful information to get people started. I really appreciate that.
Of course.
And that fear you talk about, that embarrassment, that ego that people have, we see it in everyday life when it comes to just personal relationships. But when it comes to having a personal relationship with someone who has access to your financial information, you know, I try to encourage people to not be embarrassed or ashamed because this is something you have to do and it can't be hidden anyway.
Right.
Your life is going to reflect your responsibility and how responsible you were
Right.
or weren't at some point along the way in your life. So I want to advise everyone to properly structure your finances at some point, whether you start with a budget, but make sure you budget into your budget to have a tax preparer.
Yes, indeed.
I see people also doing stuff like Lyft and Uber and Postmates, and they act like that's free money. Like
Oh
to
no.
those people, like how do you like what do you say to them because they have to file too now?
And look, I have a personal touch with that because I do DoorDash on the side for a hustle.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an income. It's treated just like an income. You get a W-2 at the end of the year, and that you have to file that. And yes, it works the exact same way as if you worked a regular job. And like I say, when it comes to DoorDash workers, your car is your job. So we oil changes, gas, mileage, all of that comes into play when making your money back. Because with DoorDash and things, you don't pay taxes off the jump, so you're gonna owe at the end of the year.
So that goes back to that planning you were talking about. Plan
Right.
to pay those taxes.
And there's tools online that you can always go in. Hey, I made this much. How much of my taxes is supposed to come out? And it'll calculate it for you. You take that money and pull it to the side and find you a bank account and do not touch it until tax season.
Hmm.
Because you can have that money in an account, it'll be growing, and it might be more than what you actually need. So you're saving all at the same time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A few more questions before we get out of here.
Okay.
Won't keep you too much longer. Education,
Mhm.
because the goal is always to educate the people. Um, when it comes to taxes, like how do you educate? Are there any services you provide outside of the office or any consultation? And why do you feel that education is so important with the public, even if someone else is doing a service for them?
Mhm.
Because a lot of people do a service and they don't want to teach the people.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't want to teach the people what they actually did for them in fear that they won't return as a customer.
Right.
But why do you feel it's so important to be educated in that area?
It's beyond important because knowledge is power. And knowledge is power. And my clientele, I educate them. They know that our consultation from jump, we're educating, we're figuring out, we're planning, we're strategizing. That just comes with my clientele. But I also share tips and things on social media. I come out and do podcasts. We want to spread the wealth at the end of the day.
One last question before we get out of here. What's one gem you can think of right now that you would tell every high earner? You know what I'm saying? What's one gem that every high earner should know?
Well, one gem that I would tell somebody is do not be afraid of the IRS because at the end of the day, the IRS rewards those who do what they need to do.
I heard that say, don't be scared.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be scared.
No, indeed. Speak at it.
What'd you say, Sherelle? Sherelle, you just say, man, holler at your girl. Just holler at me. I'm going to
Telling
get
you,
you
we
right.
got you.
I know that's right. Well, tell the people, man, how they can get in contact with you on social media, how they direct contact information at the office for any consultation or to support any of your services.
Yeah, I am on Facebook as Sarette Wilson. You'll see my middle name is Antonia. I'll be in a green dress. My Instagram name is Saul underscore Saretta. That's SAW underscore SARETTA. And my phone number is 225-916-1981. I am always here for any questions, any help. I am your girl.
Well, Mr. Sarette, I definitely appreciate your time. Thank you so much for that valuable information and encouragement. And we always want to encourage everyone to make sure that you make this a part of your lifestyle, because it is a part of your lifestyle. It's going to affect your household in some fashion, whether you choose to agree with the system or not. The system is the system, and we all are a part of it right now. So take advantage of some of these great services and her professionalism. Once again, Sarette, can you give me that phone number to contact you and an email?
Of course, it is 225-916-1981 and at SarettaWilson@gmail.com.
Well, there you have it. Ms. Wilson, thank you so much for that great
Of
information.
course, thank you. I enjoyed this.
Absolutely. Likewise. Likewise. And may God continue to bless you in every good and godly way.
Thank
Till
you.
next
You as
time.
well.
Respect and salute.
All right.
We gone.